morning! It's Wednesday? I've lost track of time now. Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Wednesday morning, and we are here to do some listing outcomes today, which is part of like probability. It's a starting point to probability, but it's what we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at how you can make sure you've found all the possible combinations of things when you've got some choices to make. So we're going to go straight onto that just after we've launched the video. So how are you all? I hope you're looking after yourselves. Some people will have gone back to school, so maybe watching this later. But those people who are not back at school, hopefully this is a good way of getting your maths learning done. Again, I had a few problems getting the worksheet link today, so there will be a worksheet added into the description just after the video finishes with some combinations work. But if you can just be patient for that for about 2-3 minutes, just while I finish getting that uploaded. But let's go straight into my whiteboard, and we can start to look at starter challenge. So you've got 45 seconds. I'm not timing it, but it's about 45 seconds. How many different shops can you name? How many different high street shops can you name? Off you go, make a list, write it on paper. You should all have pen and paper by now. You know how my lessons work. And I will say good morning too. Wow, lots of people are here this morning. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Ellis. Good morning, Adeline. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Patrick. And good morning, Josh, but not Sophie because she's at school. But still, good morning, Sophie, if she watches later. Good morning, Sharanya. Good morning, Stanley. Good morning, JJ Gaming. I forget what your name is. You have to remind me. Good morning, Stanley again. Good morning, Iona. Good morning, Donnie and Bella. Good morning, Alvie. Good morning, Laundrette. No, that's Josh saying Laundrette. Not different types of shop, but literally the names of the shops. Can you name the names of different shops? Different high street shops. The one I'm going to go for is Argos. You could have Argos in there. So all the different names of shops. But this is a good list. You don't have to make the list in the live chat. You can just make a list and see how many you can get. The challenge is how many can you name in 45 seconds by writing them all out in a long list. If you come into this and you're not doing it live, pause the video now. See how many you can come up with in a list. Come up with as many names of shops as you can in 45 seconds. Maybe even time yourself. But I'm going to move straight on from that because we're going to talk about listing outcomes. And to do so, we've got not only Mr. Harris School of Maths, we've got Mr. Harris School of School. It's a brand new futuristic school that Mr. Harris has invented, and you have got to choose your options today. So these are your options. They come from 3 different blocks. Block 1, Block 2, and Block 3. And you need to choose a subject from Block 1, a subject from Block 2, and a subject from Block 3. So let's tell you what you've got. In Block 1, you can choose from archery or bubble blowing. So they're the 2 options you can choose from. In option 2, you've got carpentry, digging, and elephant maintenance. We're doing some very normal subjects in Mr. Harris's School of School. Then in number 3, you can learn the foxtrot, which is a type of dance. You've got golf. And you've got happiness. You've got lessons in happiness. How to be happy. How to be like Mr. Harris. I'm completely mad, but also very happy. So, you have to choose your 3 lessons that you're going to study. 1 from column 1, 1 from column 2, and 1 from column 3. But this is how... So this, hopefully you can all see, this would be a valid combination. A, C, F. And you can also see JJ Gaming is going for archery, digging, and something else. Archery, digging, golf. Alvie's gone for archery, digging, and golf. So this would be Alvie's combination. A, D, G. Very outdoorsy combination for Alvie. Now, how many combinations are there? How many different possibilities are there? Well, that's what we're talking about today. How many different possibilities and how we can list them in a quite a sensible way to make sure we don't miss any. So, There are 2 things in this list. Hopefully you agree with that. There are 3 things in this list. And there are 3 things in this list. What that tells us is that there are 2 times 3 times 3 possible combinations. I make that 18. 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 is 18 possible combinations. So how, I'm going to rub out the combinations we've come up with so far, how can we make sure we get all 18? Now the first thing you may have noticed me doing is instead of writing archery and carpentry, I'm writing just the initial letter, and this may now dawn on you why all of these have got different letters that they start with. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. This means that when we're listing outcomes, Iona's got the idea already. Sorry, JJ. Okay, I'll just make sure you just call you JJ. Iona has got the idea here. Instead of writing the whole thing out, she wants to do bubble blowing, and she wants to do digging, and she wants to do happiness. So she's just written B, D, H. So that was what Iona's put. And we also had Alvi writing archery, digging, and golf. So you can see these are different ones. We've got to find 18. So we need a structured approach. And this is how we do it. We start with archery, carpentry, and foxtrot, because they're the top ones. So you can see I've just chosen the first one in each row. Then I keep archery and carpentry, but I change it to golf. And I keep archery and carpentry, but I change it to happiness. So my first 3, I kept archery and carpentry and just did foxtrot, golf, and happiness. This system will allow me to find them all. I've now got all of the ones that have got archery and carpentry, so I'm now going to do archery and digging and foxtrot, archery and digging and golf, archery and digging and happiness. Can you all see? This first group of 3, I kept the A and the C, and then did F, G, H. The next group, I've done A, D, F, G, H. It's a bit like this. There, 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 there. We're now going to do there, 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 there. The next one is going to be down to elephant maintenance. So we're going to do A, E, F, A, E, G, A, E, H. We've now found 9 combinations, and we know we've got all of the archery combinations. So all that's left to do is exactly the same ones as this, but instead of archery, bubble blowing. So we now need to repeat everything. So we've got, instead of ACF, we've got BCF, BCG, BCH. Notice I'm only ever changing 1 letter at a time. That wasn't very neat. BDF. In this way, by only changing 1 thing every time, we don't miss any. And then the final thing we do is check whether we've got them all. BEF, BEG. We won't have any that we've been repeated. And we list all the possible outcomes. I can then use it for probability, because I can say what's the chance of someone choosing bubble blowing, elephant maintenance, and foxtrot. Assuming the chances were all equal, let's say if someone gives a random choice, rather someone's away, so they get given a random choice. Bubble blowing, elephants, foxtrot. Bubble blowing, elephants, foxtrot is this one here. And because there are 18 combinations, we would say that the probability of bubble blowing, elephants, and foxtrot is 1 out of 18. One of them is BEF out of 18 possible combinations. So we're not focusing too much on the probability, but I just wanted to show you that because that's where the probability bits come from. We are mainly today just talking about how you can list outcomes in a manner that means we don't miss any. Hopefully this makes sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one up there to do with a new restaurant that me and Alvi are opening up. So Alvi, I'll give you some letters in our menu. If you could just tell us some funny dishes that we can have as starters, mains, and desserts. So here we have mine and Alvi's menu. So we're gonna the Harris Alvi restaurant. So we've got the starters. There are 2 different starters beginning with I and J. Then the mains, we've got a K, L and M. And the desserts, notice there's 2 S's in desserts, otherwise it's a desert. M, N and O. So we've got 2 of those, and 3 mains. While Alvy's telling me some things to put in here, could you all work out how many combinations you think there are? Okay, Sebastian 103, you need to ask me a question. Oh, sorry if I've frozen at all. So, where's Alvy gone? Bino. Okay, so Alvy's not telling me any. I need Alvy to tell me some dishes from here. Or all of you can help making our restaurant. So you just need to start telling us some dishes. We need 2 starters, an I and a J starter, a K, L and an M main, and an N and an O dessert. So Josh has suggested we're going to have mustard pineapple. That's not a main, but that's what you've said, so I'm going to put it. Mustard pineapple. Special vegetarian disc of mustard pineapple. Gherkin pizza. There's no G ones. Nocturnal for dessert? Nocturnal owl? Must be nocturnal owl ice cream. Anything else that people want to add into our menu? Morocco curry. We've already got an M, I'm afraid, Patrick. And we got macaroni already, Alyssa. You can't have more than 1 M. We've done M. Ice cream. For starter, well, that's what she wants. That's what I'm putting. Ice cream starter. Kangaroo steak. What else are we going to populate this with? We need a J, an L and an O. What other thing? Kitty cat and iPad. We've got a K. And we've got an I already. You can't have iPad for starter. We're not just naming work. Orange lettuce. What an unusual restaurant this really is. We've got K sorted already, Adeline. Lemon and lime main course. Lemon and lime chicken. And we just need a J starter, jump jelly. Whatever jump jelly is, I don't care, that's what we're having. So, here's the Harris and Alvy restaurant. Welcome. This is your menu you've got to choose. So when you're going to choose what dish you have, first of all, well done those people who said that there are 2 times 3 times 2 is 12 combinations we're looking for. So you know you've got it right if you've got all 12. In order to list them, pause the video now and have a go at listing all 12 without mistakes. If you're watching live, I understand if you don't want to pause it because we were watching the video and we're staying as part of the thing. That's absolutely fine. But if you're coming back to this later, pause the video and try and list all 12. See if you get them all. Those people doing it, try and stay ahead of me if you can, if you're trying to do it live. So I'm going to start with I, K, N, because they're the top ones. Then I'm going to keep the I and the K, and I'm going to change to O. I've now got both of those, so we're now going to just change the middle one. I, L, N, I, L, O. It's always going to be an N, O, and you can see this repeating pattern, look. I, M, N, I, M, O. So we've got all the ice cream starter ones. Now we're going to do the same using jump jelly as the dish. So we've got K, N, K, O, L, N, L, O. Hello. M, N, M, O. So there are the 12 combinations. Did you get all 12? I hope you did. The whole point of today's lesson has been to show you how we list outcomes by hopefully having things that where the letters, you don't really want to have to write the whole thing out each time, which is why I've tried to do it so that you can use the initial letter. Now, if you were doing this for like how many combinations there are in like a Chinese restaurant or something, you could just do the number that goes with the dish as the combination number. But this is quite useful. I use this in A-level maths as well, when you're working out the number of combinations of things that can happen. I also use this in my board game design to work out how many different possible combinations of cards you can have. Let's say you're choosing 3 cards and you've got different decks. The numbers can get quite big, but I need to know what the possible combinations of cards are. So, hopefully, this has made some sense to you on what combinations are and what listing outcomes is all about. Again, I could then say, what's the probability of having lemon and lime chicken and orange lettuce? So what we do, we're looking for LO. LO, there's the 2 that we want. So the probability would be 2 out of 12, because there's 12 combinations and 2 of them have got L and O. This actually simplifies to 1/6. So remember, we're not doing the probability, but it's useful to mention it today as we're going along. Hopefully that has made some sense to people today. I've tried to make it's quite a brief one today, but it's one that hopefully has made some sense. As soon as I've finished here, I will immediately change the description, so if you just wait around for a few minutes so that you can get the worksheet, and I'll upload it so that you've got a link to the listing outcomes worksheet so you can go and do it. Because remember, big passionate thing for me is watching the video and taking part in the live chat is not the main part of the lesson. It's brilliant that people who do take part. This has been the learning bit, but learning disappears if you keep it just in the short-term memory. At the moment, it'll be in your short-term memories. If you just then don't do anything with it, it'll go away and you might as well not have learnt anything. For learning to be permanent, we have to practice. Practice does not make perfect, practice makes permanent. So we then need to go away and practice it. So I'll do that straight away. So hopefully the other thing you've got to do is I'm still waiting for some entries, some more entries for the water parks. I'll be showing the water parks in the videos on Monday of all the different water park designs people send me. You've got links, and you can see here, Mr. Harris School of Maths, email me, or you can go on the Facebook page, or you can just type in the YouTube channel and let me know what you've been doing. Thank you so much for joining me. I've been Mr. Harris. I hope you've learned something today. I've been Mr. Harris. You haven't. Look after yourselves, and I will see you on Friday. Take care.